Okay, အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါလို့နှုတ်ခွန်းဆက်
Good
တာပါတယ်
evening to everyone. I would like to welcome you from our weekly People's Go Way of Thought talk show program. And today we will be discussing the topic of that oppress young officers and the soldiers and their future who are under the army of the military hunter. When you say youth, youth are the people who love the truth, who love who are against the oppression, and they are brave and they are decisive, and that's how we would define youth is at that time. And youth are also struggling very hard for the right to survive and for the right to exist. And even in developed countries, you play an important role in the development and for the community. However, in countries like Myanmar, where the rights are lost and that youth from different areas, they are resisting against the military hunter in different ways. They have been fighting very hard to be able to get their rights. Their rights are in that they have been involved in the front line. So youth, we will be when we discuss about youth from the different areas. It is also important to also to look at what about the youth under under the hands of the military. What is their mindset? What is their what is their ideology? And that's something we'd like to discuss with our audience today. That within the army, where you have the privileged military leaders who are oppressing and controlling, and that they may be controlling the youth in the military, but that educated youth in the military, how has their futures, how does their future progress, and their youth spirit or their pensions for truth and that being standing by the truth, how will they respond to it, and what kind of future change that rank and file in the military hunter wants. That's what we'll be discussing today, and we have invited that CDM Corporal, and then we also have that CDM that Corporal Anchor, as well as the CDM Corporal under the nickname Fury as well. We also have invited Deputy Minister Do Indizama of Ministry of Women's Youth and Children Affairs Ministry to discuss about the experience of the youth in the Myanmar military, as well. That So I'll be your moderator for today's session. My name is Naung, a CDM soldier as well, and because of the situation and the internet connectivity, we have to record the discussions of our speakers. So if you want to ask questions, we would like to, while you are listening to the talk show, please use the chat box and messages, and also type in questions in the question box, or you can also raise your questions in the live stream chat as well. Also, please also do not forget to share our talk show as well. So we'll be we'll be running the talk show now. So we have recorded the different participation of the speakers, and then speakers are already here as well. So that we'll be starting the talk show now. So firstly, we like to start with so we'll be listening to the voice of all the CDM soldiers. We start from there. So I would like to invite Go Fury first. Fury, good morning. Hello. I joined this. My name is Fury. I joined the CDM on the 6th of March 2021. Fury, my first question to you is that as a people soldier who are defected to stand by the people, you are also a young man, and that you also have served in the military as a non-commissioned officer. So that will be the experience that and also like to share about also your experience. So will you have you been able to do that for the experience and that you have done? Can you also share with us about your experiences?
စစ်တပ်တွေကနေပြီးတော့ခြားဆင့်လူငယ်စစ်တီတယောက်အနေနဲ့အရင်ဆုံးကျွန်တော်စစ်တပ်တင်မှုခင်အရင်ဆုံးတော့ကျွန်တော်စစ်တမ်းတန်းနေအရင်တက်ရတာပေါ့စစ်တမ်း
I joined the military training first, and at that time I experienced the discrimination environment in the training school, and I also experienced all sort of physical violences and abuse, like punching, beating up. So I tried to endure everything, and I finished the military training, and after that I was deployed in the various places of the country, and I was posted in the new place that I was never there before, and I at the same time knew how to apply all the learning that I got from the military school. And I also found the 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 disadvantaged situation, because the thing is that I was trained for other thing, but the actual job that I was doing in the field was the other. So the professionalism that I learned and the actual things that I do on the on the ground is completely different. So I was mismatched, and I was sent to the battlefield, and in this particular battlefield, which is the front line, I was asked to do the artillery jobs, which I was not trained in the past. And I also had to do the continuous educations as well, the distant learning. So basically, I had to struggle to finish my proper education as well while I was out in the front line. Because the thing is that education is my right. I had to finish my education, uh, but they did not give me leave to finish my education. So I was in the front line for almost over a year. Normally, a soldier in the battlefield in the front line were there for only 4 months, but they asked they asked me to stay there for more than a year. Some soldiers were posted in the front line for a year and a half. So basically, what I was trying to say is that we were not given equal treatment, and we could not apply what we were trained in the military school. I I joined the military as a surgeon, and another thing that I would like to talk about is that promotion is not based on the merit. They just look at who is near them, and then they promote them. So I happen to realize that however much that I tried my best, I will not be promoted because promotion is not based on the merit. Another thing that I would like to talk about is we have senior surgeons. Senior surgeons coach us, mentored us, and the younger surgeon may have a jump promotion. So basically, the senior surgeon who coach the junior surgeon feel very irritated because the senior surgeon, the younger one, would be the officers of the senior surgeons who coached them before. So that was another dynamic among us as well. And for me, I am asked to do some sort of small jobs. I am asked to do some typing in computer. I am asked to do some sort of small administrative jobs. I did not find opportunities. I did not find chances to really use my skills. And and then we had this coup. And after the coup, my hopeless expedition was almost assured. So basically, they always said that there are over 500,000 soldiers, but with 500,000 soldiers, with the whole population, I did not see it is the right thing to be in this military. So that's why I quit there. Thank you. And another thing that I would like to mention to you is your experience that you feel your future is lost and thus you joined the civil disobedience movement. So I learned from you. Thank you for that. Next, I would like to invite another surgeon, a lady surgeon this time. I would like to ask you the same question, which has to do with the your expeditions on the future while you were in the military, and you are female, so I just would like to understand the women perspective. Thank you. I am the surgeon Yin Leleton. I joined in the civil disobedience movement earlier this year. I just would like to go through my background since I decided to join the military. There are various reasons for us to join the military. We want adventurous future. We want to be on our own feet, and it might be due to our family background. So after I finished my high school, I tried my best to join the military. So the female soldier recruitment was not that common, but there were female soldier recruitment for the medical personnel. But at some point, they opened up for the female recruitment. Then I was happy at that time. I am I was motivated, I was dedicated, and I really want to be useful. And some of my friends were feeling very desperate to be in the military. And once we join into the military, we've got lots of stress, and we were told that you may have biological parents, but you don't have to um, you don't have to think of seriously about your biological parents. Now your parents is the military as an institution. So we were told like this, and it was quite tough. It was very tiring in this training school. Some gave up. I did not want to give up. I want to show that I can do it. I cannot have my people around me blaming that I could not do it and I gave up. No, I could not be told like this. So I think that, some of my colleagues who could not make it in the military school, in the military training school, were actually lucky this time. we face all sort of discrimination indeed, and I think the future being lost is the feeling that I start feeling just before I finish my military training. We we're not sure what will happen after after the training school, and all our freedom were not there. We were being locked up. Whenever we want to go out, there are all sort of bureaucracy. There are there are there are relatives funerals. There were relative funerals, but I was not um, giving the leave to join to the funeral. I really had to struggle to get some leave as well. And basically, they treat us like they own every part of my body, my hair, my flesh, my skins. It seems that they own everything. And in terms of the career path for the male, they can already anticipate by which year they will be a specific rank. They can anticipate already. But for the female personnel, we were not sure about all of this. I was treated as a paper worker in this institution. But the thing is that my families would proud that my daughter or my sister would be the captain, the only captain in the family members. They want to be proud. But once I finished my training school, I am told that I could not join the officer training. So it was 2014. They used that particular system. There were graduated uh, men and women who were recruited. So the thing is that there are several steps that imposed for the female personnel. So I already knew that I don't have a promising and convincing future. We were contracted for 5 years, and the post that I will get is the administrative surgeon, and there were requirements in terms of a duration that I have to fulfill in this administrative surgeon position. So I was thinking of resignation. Resignation is not easy at all, and the thing is that there were all these other people joining in this training school. So basically what happened is that there are more people than the positions available. So the thing is that some of the soldiers ran away from the military. It was not uncommon. So they accuse that if somebody ran away from the military, they accused that these are the bad people, these are the bad soldier. I don't think so. The thing is that there is no proper environment for us to utilize our skills, and we expected a lot before we joined the military, but when we actually are in the military, the situation is completely different. We were depressed. Everyone wants the future. The civilian has a future. The soldier needs to have future. I am not over ambitious, but we need to be recognized as a valued personnel. We feel that we were kept in prison. We feel that we are kept prisoners. We feel that we are robot, no future. And woman has no other way to let all the depression or stress. Man, young soldier can go out and have a drink, but I cannot. Women cannot. So I felt that I just tried my own future by joining the military, and my future expectations and anticipation was high, but I feel that I was in much lower environment that I anticipated, and there is a glass ceiling for the women personnel. The higher position for the woman can be found only in the medical unit. The thing is that there are more people than the positions. That is to say, low chances for promotion, and promotion is there not based on the merit, but based on who can bribe. The thing is that I believe workplace is a place that needs to be happy, and the place that you like to contribute. But the workplace, for me, it's a complete oppression, control, discrimination, and authoritarian, and they control more than it needs to be. Thank you. Thank you very much for your comprehensive expression in terms of your environment, your feeling, and your experience. You clearly had expectation and you had the goodwill to join the military, but you feel that you destroyed your own future by joining the military. That was the feeling that you got after all this time that you dedicated in this military. So your vision and your future gets blurred and uncertain at all. So thank you very much for sharing your experience. Now I would like to invite another CTM military personnel. I would like to invite another surgeon, Anchor. Thank you.
ဒီစစ်ထက်စဝင်တဲ့တိုင်းတာတစ်ခုကပဲစပြောမှာပေါ့ကျွန်တော်တို့စဝင်လာတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ရေတပ်ဆိုတာ
Okay, my name is Anchor and I am staff surgeon from the Navy. Air Force and Navy and Army are very different. So we do have this interest into doing something technical as well, and then we are also interested in the technical part about our work. We want to do this, but in reality, however, when I first joined the Navy, we attend training, and then of course we do they follow what they are teaching us, but what we have been trained is very different from what we actually have to do in the workplace. For example, well, it doesn't matter how much training we have as well, and that it is that we have to what we have told, what we have been trained is different. It cannot be used at all as well, and that so especially for the for us it's quite for the Navy is that there are a lot of technical work. There are people who can do. There are people who have a capacity, but in reality they are not. We are not allowed to, and that you don't have this opportunity as well, and that is very difficult as well. And that what also is different is that well, what happened a lot of in the Navy end up as a system abuse. They use substances, and we're lost as youth in the serving in the Navy. You don't have a future. You don't have a way forward. You're lost. You're lost in the sense that you don't have anything anywhere to go to. So that we try very hard to be able to achieve our goals, and that you are trained, you have learned something, but in reality in the workplace you don't get to really what they're going to. So it's not like you really being you have to learn something from the very from the new something new as well, and that is also is make it very difficult as well, and that it makes it really harder for us also to think about it. It's not just for us, it's the same for the others as well, and that for most of the all the forces of the army as well, and that for youth that youth started to get lost as well, and the youth want to be able to innovate and use their technology that what they have learned. They want to innovate, but in reality they don't get a chance to do so. That they don't have that, they are not being given opportunity to work on their skills and to do that, because all the interest, the benefits you can gain, they want the officers to get it, not the rank and file. So it doesn't matter how inventive or innovative you are, you won't get anything. You won't get any credits. You don't get any recognition for it. So a lot of the work that the young soldiers have started, they will end up nothing, not completed, because they don't want they realize that they will not be getting anything, or they were not going forward as well. When we serve 9-10 years in the Navy, that what we have in the beginning, what we are doing is that we are doing a lot. We join the military with commitment. We have we believe in the causes, and we want to work on these causes. But what we we serve with commitment and passion, but what do we get in return? We get nothing. No recognition. No acknowledgement. That some of the there has been that young soldiers who committed suicide because of the horrible the horrible issues that they have to walk like crazy. They don't get any rights, they don't get any recognition, then they do not get anything in return. They do not get what they need. They do not for example, like so whenever that when our parents when parents pass away, you're not allowed to give leave to go and have closure to say goodbye to the loved one as well. That you're not allowed to go at all. Like then if you are from not from Yangon, and if you are go from Magui or an area like that, and they say that, oh, it's too far away, you cannot go home, and then we're not allowed to go home as it, because you don't live, you're not from Yangon, and that it is too far away, they would not let you go. So it is so when we talk about this, then they will say that you are trying to they call us anarchy, that they would say you are rebelling against the order, and that's the challenge that we have faced. Thank you for sharing. And that when I was listening to you, as I've heard that as a youth, when you join the military, and that you have tried hard to be able to achieve, and that you try to be able to innovate and to create your own journey for the future, and yet you don't get recognition. There is nothing but uncertainty and oppression, as well as on the that you never get the skills to practice their technical knowledge, and that you'd feel that despite the commitment, you'll feel that loss in the future, and without a ability to go on. Thank you for sharing that now that thank you also for sharing the experience of the CDM. So just now and we also have listened to the CDM rank and file, youth rank and file from the military and the Navy. Now we also have invited a special guest, which is who is the Deputy Minister for Ministry of Women, Youth and Children Affairs. Our Deputy Minister would like to give now a chance to listen to the Deputy Minister. Deputy Minister, good evening. So when we talk about youth, often that we talk about that we often talk about the youth in the civilian setting. Often we don't talk. We so listen to the rank and file in the military header. So now we are trying to give a chance to hear the voice of the youth in the military as well, and that especially youth in the military, especially youth who are in the educated young generation who are serving in the military. What are their challenges and how do you understand them as a minister for because your ministry also is in charge of the youth affairs as well. So what do you want to how do you understand the youth in the rank and file youth in the military, and also how do you understand their concerns and their future? Good evening, and thank you for inviting me to this talk show. And I have been listening to the other brothers and sisters who have shared as well that in the past that that when it comes to about the information inside the military, it's quite hard to reach us, and however in Myanmar that often they often the parents or the families will be very worried about if their sons are in the military, and they sometimes despite this concern, they also want their children to become officers, and that they would say once they are once they finish their high school, then they would like others have shared before, they would they will ask their children to join the military cadet training schools. And I was listening to others and that they have to go through difficult challenges. And I was listening to the other CDM officers, and also they said that there were also those who want to also to be do use it as well, but that there are those who are trained and educated. If you're an engineer, you want to use that information you have learned through your education, and that they are not allowed to. And I think it's quite sad that they have skills and they are trained, but they are not allowed to. With that, it's been a nearly 10 years that we have now in people in Myanmar have access to internet, but in the past we didn't know about how things were like that, because it was also quite hard for us to receive information about what is happening inside the military, inside the army. What we know is that if you join the military and then it's hard, it's not easy, and that you have to go through a lot of difficulties. We do know that there are like there was also like the bullying from the seniors, and also that often the juniors are treated badly by the seniors as well, and there will be hazing and the oppression against the junior. This kind of story we have heard often as well, because we also have those who have we also have a few people in our immediate environment who joined the military, know about the hazing, about the bullying, and that was a senior, you have to be that to become a punching bag for your seniors, and that they often say that, oh, you're a soldier, you're supposed to be tough, you're supposed to be able to take it without any problem. So that kind of rhetoric is there, and once you're in the military, then that's how things are in the military. You just go with it and you just take it. So that in a way we also accept it as that's how it is in the military. That's what I was young, when I was young in the community, and that we hear a lot of things about the military. We said, okay, this is how it is. We don't say that, we don't ask questions, we just accept them as they are. But now that we have internet connectivity and we will have access to that, there are also some video files that was leaked, how the senior cadets are beating and that using as the juniors as punching punching bags, and that some of those, some of them were even killed by those, by the seniors who are bullying them. And this kind of cases happen. When this happened, that the case, how the case were resolved inside the military internally. That means that what about the then those who join the cadets, do they know where they prepare for it, that they'll be victims of bullying by the seniors, that they could also be risking their life by attending their military cadet training school. But the information is really controlled by the military. That said, is already that we don't hear much about it, despite despite the information being controlled by the military. We hear that this is happening, and that is that we try to think, why is it happening? Why are they, torturing the cadets? Why are they torturing the newcomers? Why are they hurting them? And that, why are they, and then sort of like wonder myself, why are people still trying to join the military? And those who join the military, like others as about, they may have different objective. They may have very noble expectation as well. But then they do have expectation. They want to protect their country. They want to serve. That they want to protect. All these are there. They may have thought that we are, being patriotic and we are trying to protect our country from the external threats. That said, inside them, once they are inside the military, it is dark. They are not able to achieve their goals, and they got disappointed. We hear a lot about it as well. Sometimes the young soldiers are being put into break for deserting. That you have to pay a lot of money. You have to bribe a lot to be able to resign your commission and things like that. And these are the ideology we need to resist against as well. And that often generations do not even know about it. Community do not know about how horrible the situation with the military. And there have been people who have revolted, who have risen up against it as well. And that those who, like the people who join the CDM, there always have been people who have said no to such events in the military as well. And that whatever it is right now, we are now in the urban revolution. That during this time of revolution, I think it is important. We are now in the spring revolution. It is also important that more soldiers are joining the side of the people. They are standing by the people, and that they don't like the system. That's why they want to change the system. They stand by the people to protect and then fight for the people. And that's why they are here, and that's why they also want to have a military which is under the civilian oversight or the civilian control. Military needs to be professional, dignified, and put first the rights of the people, and puts the protection of the humanity and the protection of the citizen to the first place as well. And that's kind of military we want. And that's why also that current military servicemen have joined the CDM movement because they supported this kind of way thinking as well. And that military is an institution by the more soldiers joining the CDM, that will also undermine the system, the governance system of the military junta. So it is important that for this movement of the soldiers is a very much political, and many have joined in different efforts. We have civilians who have stopped paying taxes to the military junta as well. There are also people who are boycotting certain products, like products made in China, for their support of the military junta. And that the different ways people are joining this civil disobedience movement along, like this rank and file, and that all these are saying no, refusing to work, and also the CDM soldiers who are also joining the movement, and people welcome them for their efforts. People are also happy the soldiers are joining the CDM movement as well, because we are, even in the past, we want that the soldiers are the ones who are there to protect Myanmar from the danger as well. That the nature of the protection itself is that the stronger protects the weak, and that to protect the weak from being killed or being invaded, or they're being tortured or being killed. That's the purpose of the military. That said, our brothers and sisters are now joining the CDM movement to change the system, and that changing the system is good, not just benefits for them, but also for their community as well, because that also bring benefits to the entire to the community as a whole. By changing the system, entire system, it's like in a way it's a win-win situation for all of us. That change the environment, that also change the political system, that also bring along the economic and economic and the social situation as well. That is actually in fact important. Why we in the past when we were young, we only have we only talk about what we know or what we believe in. But now that we see that that people are struggling to join the CDM movement, we are also hearing that it's hard also to join the CDM movement or the struggle. So I'm very proud of the CDM fighters, and also I would like to here express my respect to them as well. And that it is also important, if once you join the CDM, I think it is important to share that with those brothers who remain in the military. We need to share the messages so they know what is really happening and they know what they should do as well. Joining the military is a there will be always be good people and not so good people who are joining the military. I think if you really want your country to have an effective change, it is important to join the movement, because right now is that right now in the current situation, many older having resources doesn't mean that you are safe or secure. That it does not, that it doesn't mean that as well, because people can use it. People can use whatever you have as a will, because you may have money, you may have financial resources, but tomorrow that you could be arrested at any time. It can happen to you as well, and that you never know what is going to happen. And we say like just like the expression in Myanmar say that when you're a civil servant, there is nothing certain, and that it is also important to that sometimes that the things may be good to you, but the situation can change and in the blink of an eye, and so I think it is important to fight with the people. It is important to fight for yourself. It is important to fight for your future. It is important to fight with the people. And I was listening to the other CDM officers. I'm very proud for them for joining the CDM movement. Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, for sharing, and then also thank you also for their participation as well. That we appreciate it. So that now we are at the end of the first part of the discussion. And to our spectators who are joining us in today's talk show, we also like to request you to ask that to share the message to the servicemen who are still stuck in the military. Please also like and share so that more people will see our talk show across different platforms. Now we'd like to proceed to the second part of the talk show, and the second part will also talk about the experience of some more experience about the CDM soldiers as well. So we'll start with another round. So let's go to the second part. This is a question we'll give to the older CDM soldiers as well, and that so we talk about that the discrimination inside the military, that your opportunities for the future has been, restricted, and that it often seems that the young rank and file do not have a future. And who is responsible for it? Well, discrimination or stopping the people from getting their opportunities. I think it is that I would say that senior officers are responsible. I will also say that the rank and file soldiers are also responsible. The discrimination or restricting our opportunities is that it's happening because you are letting this happen. I think we are also part of the problem because we are letting them discriminate us. We are letting them do it as well, and that they are violating, they are pushing us down. Then we are also responsible for letting it happen. That we are not speaking up. That I think there are also the weaknesses of the rank and file, and that sometimes that we know that this is wrong, that we are being victimized by, we are being discriminated by them, and yet the people are not speaking up and just letting those in church do this to us, and we are also responsible for that. That's all I would like to say. Thank you. So thank you for your response, and that there is the discrimination is happening against the by the senior officers. Is part of the responsible go to the senior officers, but also partly responsibility goes also to the rank and file, because rank and file is letting them do this, letting them discriminate us, and that is, so we are in the way also responsible as well, and that if we ask for our rights, if we ask to demand our rights, and that to be not to be discriminated in such a way, that will also be something different as well. Now, I would also like to invite another speaker. So that here I would like to invite so that Fury, the CDM Corporal Fury. So what about you? What do you want to say to us about this topic about discrimination and lack of opportunities in military? Like brother has said before, that you have the senior leadership, military leadership has a responsible, and also have the mid-level leadership also have a responsible. They have the main responsibility when it comes to discrimination, but it's also important to look at what kind of discrimination are we talking about, or the obstacles being obstructed as well. That if you're not in the military, it will be hard for you to know what kind of what is happening, or that what is happening. We need to speak up as well. We also need to say that what is happening. What do you mean by be discrimination? What do you mean by that our opportunities are not lost? I said that once you join the military, then they started the discrimination very there, because often once you join the military training, then you will see that you have the sergeant, you have corporal, then the lance corporal. So you have the more that you are down the food chain, then you will be discriminated against you, because the lower down the totem pole, you will be the more oppressed as well, and your opportunity will be restricted, because we have our rights, and that our rights, as well as our right to food supplies, as well as all the other, as youth also, you want to have opportunity to educate, to learn education, and there are those who are trying to get opportunity to do better, to for betterment, and that as a surgeon, you only get a salary of 200,000 just, and that I think that if you have ability and capacity and to be able to do more like or to walk, you can make more than that salary. You can work much more than that, but you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to, even if you designate, you are not allowed to do other things. You are not allowed to have a, you don't simply, they don't allow you to do so. That, and when it comes to other opportunities being blocked, is part of the oppression as well. For example, like when we serve on the front lines, for example, like our military posts, I mean, we don't have water. We only have water, access to drinking water during the rainy season. That means that you have to go and collect water. That if you go and collect water, everyone will go there. But in reality, is that the officers, then they will say that the commission officer, everyone is have to contribute, right? But then you say that I'm the officer, I have to do it. That the officers will do is use the water. That means they would because the water, you don't have water at all in the case in your camp, and then you are not allowed to. What they would do is they will shower with the water. The people have spent hours to collect as well. You can use the water we collected for life and death. It is important, but you cannot waste the water. You shouldn't they be going to to the base of the camp and get a shower, not use the water as well. The water that we collect by the all the soldiers should be for the cooking, for the drinking water, for the fight for hygiene use, and they will not go there and just use the water like that. And this is as an officer who is in charge of a military post, and to use it, and that is discrimination. That because you are we ask him to don't do that, and then we say that no, that that they will say that they will say that yes, okay, next day we'll do that. Next day I will go and have a shower, and then what they will, and then that they said that yes, what they will do is that they will say okay, because you speak up, and then what they will do, what the officer will do is that they will pick us up. They will wake us up at 1 a.m. in the morning, and then they will say that go that time you have to go and then stand guard at as well. He retaliate by different means, like putting us to go and the stand guard at 1 a.m. and waking up as from the deep sleep, as they will access training exercises for those who are speaking up against him. But that and that that we don't have. Then they sometimes they will also take away our military equipment as well. So these are things. So that even our the salaries or the supplies that we receive is also taken as a. You also have that there's MBC, Myanmar Economic Holding, which is a military institution, and we have to contribute to the MEC. We have to buy shares at this one, and especially for the officers, and not only the officer but also the non-commissioned officer. So other rank and file also have to contribute the money that we don't have. We don't have that much money to contribute to that, but you have no chance to do that. If you want to withdraw your shares, and then they will say that you contribute the money, that we say that we have to give reason why do you want your money back. We have to give that reason, or no, you won't get money back. And that also, and if there is also very clear nepotism as well, that if you get along with the officers, you can do whatever you can get your money back, you can do that. So that even in that, what they also do is that they will ask us to give us our Facebook account, and then that they will say that you have to have give all the Facebook account. They have a list, and that they need to have the username and link. These accounts, they will ask one of the accounts to also to tag to make friends to him, and then what they will also do is that they would check with that if you are posting any political poses, or if you're liking any political things as well. And that sometimes they also practice in the military is how to vote. For example, like that they will do voting practice. They say that we have to click, you have to tick in the square box as they indicated, but they said no, you can only do this, or they will not allow us to do others as well, to vote for others as well. They will only allow that is they were not allowed to vote for any other parties. That they say you can only vote for the party they want to enter. And that if you do that, if you were to if you want to vote freely to somebody else, and they say that they say you are a watermelon, that means that you are you're hiding yourself, that you support the democratic movement as well. And better voting should be free, voting should be of our own decision, but they brainwash to make sure that if you are a soldier, you don't even have the right to vote freely for whoever you believe in. So that these are that when we said about the not having a future, that lacking a future for the rank and file, is like Anchor has said it before, that those who are in the opposition, and that often that those who are following them, we are losing we don't have a future. Our future has been forgotten. We have no way forward to data way to advance. There is no advancement in our position, and that there is no guarantee for for us as well, and there is no prospects. So it also make it very difficult for us to move forward as well. And that that we don't have a right to speak up. We also that here we have a chance to speak up, so we are also saying to say that what we believe in, that it is important to listen to others as well, because the main thing is that we have to live under this fear of being blocked or being retaliated against as well. That that if you are a real soldier, if you are a professional soldier, you would be highly ashamed by that what they have done with this what they have done with what the military has done as well, because we know that the military is not a good organized, good institution as well. We know that our rights are also being being abused by the military as a whole as well, that we all know that. So this is in a way, it's also just reinforced that is what is happening as well. And that thank you for sharing, and that you have also discussed very broadly about the situation in the military. So thank you very much for that. Now, I would like to invite Sergeant Yeleleto now for that another round. So can you also share about your experience regarding discrimination as well as the lacking future in the military?
Well, my previous two brothers talked about the discrimination. Well, there is a healthy discrimination needed in the military institution based on the position, which I understand, but the excessive discrimination, it's not good by any mean. So they do this divide and rule because do not want to have the unity and solidarity among soldiers. If there would be solidarity, unity in among the soldier, then the coup will be counter reacted by the soldiers themselves. So they knew that it would happen, so that's why they use this divide and rule. Divide and rule is what they really like. By some of the officers joined the military training school at their age of as young as 16 years old. They were suppressed, they were tortured in the training school, military training school, so we are waiting for the revenge when they would be in the position. I experienced personally myself that when they are in the position, then what happened is that they treat very badly, very rudely to their subordinate who were the age of their fathers. So the thing is that there is no unity, there is no solidarity, there is this hate and there is this revenge among them because they were the victim of the oppressor in the past and now they do the oppression by themselves when they are in the position. So in Myanmar, we have all sort of funny ranking system and uniforms were deliberately controlled. For example, for the female officers, um, there were 3 days in a week that I we had to wear lungi, and for the men officers, they were to wear the shoes and in full uniform. And the thing is that for me, as a woman, we are not allowed um, to wear shoes. So the thing is that we argued about that. So for the women, when we were in the civilian clothes, we were being um, we were being told that we show too much our flesh, and we were shamed by the way that we dress. So the the closed superior skilled the women officers and soldiers due to the dressing style. So we were being, I would say, verbally abused and harassed due to the way that we wear when we are in the civilian clothes. The thing is that we have to respect each other. The thing is, um, whenever we were out, they worried that we would be sleeping with with our boyfriends and we would get pregnant. So they just worried like this. And another thing is that in our weekend, we were treated as the maids and servants of the superiors family and their social event. In one of the water festival, I was asked to pour water for all the visitors to the to the places of my superiors, and we were forced to join in the dancing group. So it was in this water festival period, the New Year period at that time, we cannot refuse for the thing that we do not like to participate, which has nothing to do with our job as well. In the election campaign period, we were asked to take part in the campaign as well. Well, we were asked to teach the other how to fill in the in the voting slip, the ballot. So the thing is that it has nothing to do with our job. And another thing is that they ask which party that we gave vote for. It is clearly the violations of our rights. And another thing that I would like to talk about is the some of the military personnel who joined the military, but their social status might be better off. In that case, um, they were treated very well, I would say. And another thing is that in this military enterprises, we were forced to 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 contribute as the mandatory share of our our salary. The thing is that our salary were deducted to contribute as a share in this military enterprises. The enterprises is the enterprise of a son of the commander-in-chief. So our family depend on the salary that we've got, and the salary got deducted as well, and then that enterprise is the benefit of all this top leaders, not for us. And they said they produce this and that. I did not I did not see them at all. Of course, I knew Army Rum, which is the products of the enterprises, but we did not we did not see them. We did not um, use them, and we could not use them as well. The thing is that they did all these enterprises for their interests, for avoiding the tax. So our rights were violated, and we were not giving any rights as well. But then again, they staged this coup again, but they got everything. I mean, even before the coup, when people ask me what is my occupation, then I always hesitate to tell to the world that I am a soldier. And even after the coup, I did not, I do not dare to talk about that. I was in the military in the past. I mean, I am still young. I was young when there was this saffron revolution, but when I did a bit of reading, um, I happened to realize that coup has very negative connotation among society, which it's a bad thing. They did that bad thing, and they did that bad thing to the countries, and and we have and 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 another thing is that they remove all of our rights. They did not give a chance in the institution, and now they did all this bad thing to the country. I want better future. I want freedom. I want independence. We have future. So if you want to live on your own, this is the best time. This is the time to revolt everything that is not fair. I invite you all this. Thank you. Thank you very much. What I observed from you is the discriminatory culture in the institution. And I also learned that discrimination is not even among the lowest of the rank. And I also observed that the human nature was ignored in terms of their feeling, in terms of their mental status, and yet they use oppression as a tool to control their interest. And talking about interest, the lowest of a rank were being were being used, were being exploited for the interest of the top leaders. And the military leaders used military as an institution to fulfill their own economic interests, but they use that their businesses it's for the soldiers of all rank, which it's not true indeed. And I also observe that you the invite everyone to pave the path for the future that is independent, that is free, and that is to be on your own. Now, I would like to invite the Deputy Minister. I would like to check and I would like to request your observation based on all the contribution that you have heard from our colleagues, CDMRs. What would be the system changes for the greater good in the future? And I also would like to ask your opinion. How would you invite the soldiers to join in the CDM movement? Thank you. Well, quite a lot has been said by our brothers and sisters who used to be in the military. They talked about the cascades of discrimination in the institutions as a military. And they also talked about the deliberate choices to be in the military. Well, that is something. And another thing is that there are independent individuals who had to be in the military due to the family member is being the military personnel. So the discrimination is not only imposed on the military personnel, but also the discrimination is there for the family members of the military personnel as well. I really just hope that everyone in the military listen to us and feel the same ways. And we have soldiers joining in the CDM movement, and the military distorted this sort of movement. The CDMRs were alleged by the military that they are bad people, they are they are theft, they did not follow the rules. So they almost say that all the all the non-respectful things to them. So I'm sure that there will be very nasty propaganda against the military personnel CDM, and some of the soldiers might believe such kind of propaganda. But then again, what I would like to say is that in order to pull yourself into a greater good, you need to do it on your own. In order to do it on your own, you need to have a clear information, a clear mind, and awareness of what is right and what is not right. And then you would have to implement on your own. So, for a civilian to participate in the CDM movement, it's that difficult, and it would even be more difficult for the soldier to join in the CDM, which I understand. But even if you do not think of all sort of political reasoning, at least in order to have a better future, in order to feel that you need to be liberated, your family is to be liberated. I think this is the lowest form of awareness that one would need to consider. I think you has been oppressed all the time. We have all these top leaders in the military. All the top leaders of the military are so wealthy, and the top leaders of the militaries has children as well, and all of their children of the top leader stay, educate, and spend almost all of their time in abroad. So I think this is one of the proof. So think of it. You love this institution, I'm sure. But do you love the comradeship? And do you love the country? Comradeship, it's the most important thing. So basically, think of if you really love your comrades. If it is the case, would you being looked after? So you must not be a fuel for the prosperity of the others. You torture the public for fueling the prosperity of the others. You don't want to be that. It is very difficult for you to revolt the dictatorship, I'm sure. It is not a piece of cake, I'm sure, to join in the CDM. You need to have a very clear mindset. If you are thinking of leaving the institution, check out your brothers and sisters who are already in this movement. What would be the channels? What would be the informations in Telegram? What would be the informations in the Facebook? What would be the help that you would get if you are to out of this institution. You might want to do some sort of research a bit. And if you join in the CDM, how would your family be managed? So you have to think of that as well. I clearly say that it is a hard job to disobey the dictatorship. You will face difficulties. But once you started it, you have to go to the end of it. Whenever I talked about the civil disobedient movement, regardless of if your background is military or if your background is just a civil servant, but you pushed quite a limit already if you already joined the CDM. So you had quite a jump already. You had you have to continue to the ends of it. Otherwise, the big jump and the significant jump that you made, the significant move that you made would be wasted. Otherwise, you don't have to think of all the political reasoning, but just look at your personal situation. Your personal situation is a clear justification and the rightful justification for you to join in the CDM. As you know that, as we all know that, military it's to be under civilian control and to protect the civilian at all.
Okay ကျွန်တော်တို့ဟိုအားလုံးတောင်းပန်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့
I am sorry that we have a technical difficulties and internet hiccup. That's why we were a bit distorted while we are broadcasting and discussing.
Okay ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေ့ဆွေးနွေးတာနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ဗောနော်ကျွန်တော်တို့
After being disrupted, some of the speakers would be with us very soon when they have their connection back on. And we will try to have the Q&A session towards the end of it. Again, please make sure that your question is to be posted in the message so that the speaker will be able to respond. Thank you.
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီဖန်ကျွန်တော်တို့ကြိုတင်ဆွေးနွေးထားတဲ့ record ကကျွန်တော်တို့ဘောနော်ဒီ data အနေထားရကျွန်တော်တို့အနေငယ်
the pre-recorded video would not be able to add anymore due to the technical difficulties. So I just would like to invite speakers who are with us now online. Is Surgeon Yin were you with us? Are you with us? Yes. Again, the video that we recorded in advance faced difficulties to be played. Now, I directly would like to ask you a particular question. You discussed a lot, you mentioned a lot already regarding the future of the youth, future of the women military personnel who joined in the CTM. Again, what would be changes needed to have professional military, to have a professional military personnel to restore the future of the youth? So what would be needed to be done? Thank you. Well, equality is something that we can do in the military institution to some extent. But then again, military by nature is based on the hierarchy structure, but you do not need to be overdone it. You have all this major, you have all this high rank officials. They will have a very high salary, which is okay. That everyone can understand that. But then again, they do not get a ticket to suppress, to oppress the subordinate. They have to take responsibilities and accountabilities. They cannot blame the subordinates if their subordinates did not do well. And in the past, the superior takes every advantage, every right, every chances, and every opportunity. They do all the cherry pickings, and they blame the subordinates if things go wrong, things went wrong, and they say that it is due to the stupid comrades, it is due to the stupid subordinates. They blame us like this. I think it is not the attribution of the good leader. Good leader attributes is to protect the subordinate, to take responsibility and accountabilities of their responsibilities. And whenever there is a salary raise, it's due to a system. Whenever there was a salary raise and the leaders would claim it is because of the leaders. In fact, it is not. Everyone is to fulfill their own respective duties. So everyone has to play their own part, own duties. And another thing that I would like to talk about is that it is very difficult to get promotion. And even in this very small limited opportunities, women would not share these, and even if we want to be out of the military for paving our own future, we were not giving the chance to leave the military. I think the more future lost by the subordinate, the better for the superior for them to control. So we really want to have a professional military, and we want to have a soldier who does just the soldier work to protect the country, to protect the public. There are 60 ethics that we have to comply with, but they just keep this booklet in their pocket and it won't work. There has been quite a damage that they have been done. In the future, we need to have a proper salary and proper accountabilities and responsibilities, and and proper dynamic in the institution, good leadership, and dictatorship has to be replaced by the civilian control. So they are above the law at this moment. No one can stop them. I think this has to be replaced. There is something, there is a need to have something above them so that they would stop exploiting the subordinates, so that it will stop that they oppress the comrade. The winning of this revolution will bring a high chance to build a professional military and the liberation of the soldiers. Everything outside is not necessarily decent, but within our own institution, it is a great time for us to pave much decent and much professional institution that we all long for. Thank you. I would like to invite Surgeon Anka. We have this summary. So basically, what would be your summary?
Okay, ခင်ဗျာ
All right then.
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ hello ကြားလားဗျ
I hope that you can hear me well.
ရှိလာဖို့ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့မှာဘုတ်ထဲလူတွေပိုသိပါတယ်ဒီကတော့စနစ်တစ်ခုက
My colleagues in the institution knew the whole situation better than I do. We need better system. The better system would bring us a better future. The supremacy attitude of the military, it's to be corrected. Being the military is not necessarily giving you as giving you as a divine power. So this kind of wrong attitude, it's to be changed. I dare to ask the soldiers, my brothers in the institution, that would you dare to go out in full military uniform among public like we proudly did during the Htun Sen government time? I dare asking you this question. we have to have a structural change. Youth has dream. This dream got wasted. We were trained one thing and we were told to do practically another. Not matched at all. Our dream were wasted. For the person like myself, who is the freedom lover, I felt the damage is just too much. That's why I joined the CDM. I am modern educated individual. If I would be outside of this institution, I believe that I can pave my own future. Now, restoration of our lives and our direction and for our future, it's very dependent on one individual to a degree. The SAC will not change itself. If you want to be a proud soldier, then would you want to stay under the SAC or would you join the righteous direction, which is the democratic movement? It is your choice. And I raise this question to you. What choice would you make? Thank you.
ကိုဖိတ်ခေါ်လို့ပါတယ်ညီလေးဒီမေကွန်းနဲ့ပဲထပ်ပြီးတော့ညီလေးအနေနဲ့နှစ်ချုပ်ထပ်ပြီးတော့သုံးသပ်ဆွေးနွေးဖြစ်ကြပေးပါအောင်
Okay.
Secretary, can you also respond to the same question? Yes. When we to be able to have an equal a future of equal opportunities and to be a professional dignified soldier, we need to change the ideology. We need to get rid of the that old mindsets, and we need to also get rid of the fear that we live under. Because in lately that a lot of people in the military are facing the challenges to survive. That daily survival is important, but if you people are very worried that they are old and that they are no longer young. They don't know how they will survive if they leave the military, and they have a family to take care of, and that and they want to leave the military, but they think that it will be more difficult for them to leave the army. They have all these fears which are hindering them from getting the changes. If they are afraid, then they will not be able to have a decent life or a dignified life. As another part is about the ideology. Since we join the military very young, so that often we have this idea of that we don't have a right to right to decide if this is right or wrong. We just follow the orders blindly. As a normal person, average citizen, you can distinguish what is right from wrong, and then you make a decision accordingly. But here we don't. We are not. We do not have this habit of looking at what is right or what is wrong. That we don't even ask like what is right or what is wrong. What they will. This kind of brainwash and the toxicity, which are like deeply ingrained into you, that makes the people weak and people undermine themselves. And they say that I know how to distinguish right from wrong, and we have the ability, but we're neglected for so long. If we don't think about it, if we don't ask questions, if we don't look at what is right or what is wrong, then we'll not be able to have a life as a dignified soldier as well. That if you want changes to happen, if we want reality to be able to live a dignified professional life as soldier, then it is important to look at the limitations and look at what is about the struggles for the daily life and their families to be able to do that as well. Of course, there are always a lot of problems. It's not easy. This is life. But despite the challenges, we have hundreds of thousands or hundreds or the tens of thousands who enjoyed the Spring Revolution. You are not alone. There are also many organizations who are there to help you to be able to join as well. That once you make the decision, that once you have clear mindset to be able to, this is your time to change. This is your time to stand by what is right or what is true as well. And that the fact that you be able to own your own future, to have you have the chance, you be able to see that only when you see that you'll be able to change the system, then we'll be able to prevent this from happening in the future. We'll be able to prevent the other rank and files from suffering the way you did in a horribly corrupted systems. I think the educated young soldiers, what do they need for the future is that they want to have a military that really is contribute to the protection of the nation as well, to be able to access to our future as well. We also need to be able to to do that to be able to work for the future, to be able to have a professional military army. That's the only way that we can move forward. Thank you to all the speakers for your contributions, for the very comprehensive, sharing, and that your future, and that as well as on the future that you are looking for. And please, thank you all for taking your time to sharing with us and to discuss with us, as well as giving your voice or your consent, as well as on your encouragement. I would like to thank each and every speakers for joining us. We also like to thank our audience for joining us in today's session. And that we do have pre-recorded some of the speakers, but because of the internet difficulties, we had some technical issues and we're not able to listen to the whole event. We'd like to end our today discussion here today, and that we also like to the message we would like to give with the closing is that our revolution is now almost 2 years into the revolution. After in the time of 2 years, that the challenges and that the challenges as well as on the progress, they are all mixed up as well. It is important that we remain committed to the cause, remain committed to the changes. We also would like to say that we also would like to encourage all our citizens also to stay healthy physically, as well as psychologically, so that we also please also do not forget to contribute to the movement, so that you do what you can to be able to contribute to the cause, and that we all work together to achieve the ultimate goal of the winning the revolution. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah. 的စိတ်ထားရှိခြင်း